Vlad was doing something in the ghost zone, flying off to some floating castle, and using the key he'd stolen earlier to unlock an orb that melted down, releasing a ring from it, as he says that he has the power of the Ghost King at his fingertip, though the ring barely lets out a small spark. Then, remembering he also needed the Crown of Fire, he used that key to unlock a sarcophagus, revealing a large ghost with a flaming crown resting over their head. The ghost wakes and blasts Vlad out of the castle before pulling a sword from a purple-colored pumpkin, releasing the Fright Knight, who bows to him. They go after Vlad, but finds a duplicate while the original Vlad was talking to the Fright Knight about making some sort of deal, but was blasted at by the Ghost King as Vlad flies away to get some distance between him and them. Vlad gets blasted and changes back to his human form as we see them flying through the Fenton portal where Maddie and Jack were working on some new device, though Maddie says that she's not sure about the interface issues when Vlad crashed through their portal injured. We then cut to Danny talking to his friends, saying that nothing could go wrong today as they were headed off to school. Going to Fenton Works after school, Danny and his friends see Vlad and ask just what he was doing there. Vlad then says that he was just there to steal the battlesuit Jack was creating, pretending like it was a joke, which made Jack laugh, with Danny's eyes flashing green, telling him to leave right now. Though the alarm goes off, with Maddie explaining it only goes off when an army of ghosts were going to come through. Danny whispers to stall them and runs downstairs as Vlad phases out and heads off to go to do something, though what was unclear. Sam trips Jack while Jazz drops a book, making her mom slide and trip into a closet, with our hero going ghost down in the lab, preparing for what's coming as the box ghost says to beware, with Danny laughing at them before being blasted by someone. Skulker then tells them that he knew there was a way out through there, and countless ghosts all flew out of the portal to escape the ghost zone. Danny blasted Skulker and grabbed them, going intangible as they flew out of the building, and he was about to strike them but was stopped by another ghost telling him that they aren't the enemy, and Danny asked who they were all running from exactly. Technus explains that there was a Ghost King named Pariah Dark. Skulker says that while they may be in a hurry to escape, they'll always have time for beating up on Danny. As they all tried to attack him at once, our half-ghost unleashed the ghostly wail in response, blowing them all away, and then looked exhausted as he phased back into his room and changed back to human. Vlad had explained to Valerie that he gifted her the ghost hunting equipment because he felt she would be the most capable in Amity Park, and he tells her that he's entrusting her with a special ring passed down from ghost hunter to ghost hunter, and to keep it safe, to which she'd agreed with a nod, and we cut back to Danny talking to his friends about what exactly could have caused all those ghosts to want to escape all at once. The Fright Knight busts through the Fenton portal and made one of the doors fly off the hinge and smack into Jack, knocking him back as Vlad tells him to look out after the door already hit him. The knight tells the armies to go and find the king's ring as a skeleton ghost army all began to rush through. Maddie tries to shut down the portal but was grabbed by the knight as both Jack and Vlad tell them to let go of Maddie. Vlad asked if any part of the suit was operational. In response, Jack said that the pants were, but the interface could kill them, to which he says that maybe Jack should save Maddie. It's his battlesuit after all. Nodding, Jack does just that, repeatedly kicking the knight and running around him in circles. He then kicks the Fright Knight out of Fenton Works as they phase out of the building. The pants had weakened Jack, and Maddie had to remove them from her husband, with Vlad telling her that's her department, before walking upstairs. We then cut to a Fenton thermos that looks like it had been dented from the inside, as another dent appeared, followed by another, and then returned to what Danny was doing, as his ghost sense goes off, and the three run off with Vlad appearing to the group in his ghost form. Vlad tells them that he didn't come there for a fight. He had more important matters to attend to, and he needed to speak with Danny alone. Sam and Tucker didn't like that, but Danny told them that he could handle this. Going down to the football field to ask what exactly he wants, Vlad tells him that should anything happen, he didn't want it left unsaid. There was a large yellow envelope that he left in Danny's desk at home. Should anything happen to him, he needed to read it as the Fright Knight blasted at at them, and the two began to fight against the armies. The news was telling everyone to get their kids from school immediately, and Maddie says that she'll go to get them. Jack needed to rest. We then cut back to the battle with Vlad trying to talk the knight into a deal, but they were blasted by Valerie, who called herself the best ghost hunter in Amity Park, to which Danny mocks and tells her she couldn't even catch the box ghost without screwing it up, laughing at her as she got angry. She then asked if she was the worst, then why did Vlad give her the ghost hunting ring, pulling off her glove with Plasmia's face palming, and Danny questioning that he actually gave something that important to Valerie. Seriously? The Fright Knight went to attack and get the ring, but was blasted by Danny and Vlad. The Fright Knight then swung his blade at them, as a wave of energy came from the blade, knocking the three of them back, as he then blasted at them. Maddie was able to get Jazz, Tucker, and Sam from the school, but they lied to her, saying that he was already on his way home. Meanwhile, the Fright Knight tells him that they've given him no choice. He now claims the town under the rule of Pariah, his master, slamming his sword into the ground, making a barrier appear around them. The Fright Knight then spoke, telling them, "The sword is sunk, your die now cast. The sword removed shall signal fast. Make reappear the ring thou hast, or your next day shall be your last," before vanishing with black bats flying away from where he once was standing. Danny and Vlad were able to stand and leave, though injured. Danny floated slowly back towards Fenton Works. Sitting at the television was Danny's friends and family, watching the news, talking about how the experts were trying to get through the barrier. Sam mentioning if they were really experts, wouldn't they just back away from the dome a bit and dig a way out a good ways under it instead? As we see Danny make it inside of Fenton Works, still in ghost form, with Maddie pulling a weapon, as Danny then collapsed in front of them, changing back to human form again, this time in front of his parents.